So you did talk about certain of the tools which we can be using. Will these tools be helping in the design process and the project delivery? And if so, how?
Like I mentioned, it depends on which stage of the project we're in. For example, I'm going to break it down theoretically a bit so that we can understand what may be the need of software rather than which software. At the concept stage, typically we iterate through various design options and then we select one from the iterated options. Now, if we use uh, coding or software which render the ability to code, then instead of generating, let's say, 10 or 15 design options, we can generate thousands or lakhs of design options. So in a way, we won't be selecting from the locally available options, and instead we'll be selecting from a globally exhaustive generated list. So right at that step, uh, from the perspective of selecting an optimized design option or the requisite design option gets, the quality of the option selected gets improved right then and there. Then if we move forward, if we go to the design development phase, wherein let's say other consultants are brought in, that is when probably an appropriate BIM software could be used in the design flow. And also, depending on which 3D software you were working with earlier, the interpretability between the 3D software and AutoCAD needs to be worked out. It needs to be acknowledged that regardless of which software you use, the drawing production quality of AutoCAD is unparalleled. The kind of things you can do with data management and line weight, etc., and layouts is unparalleled. I mean, I don't think, even though other software are trying, I don't think they're there yet. So for the time being, for the foreseeable future, I am pretty certain that AutoCAD will be the software to go to for 2D drafting and drawing publication to the site per se. Next, if we talk about design development and other and the subsequent phases, then it would involve uh, a lot of BIM and your application of concept 3D development software will reduce. Also, depending on the kind of shape you're dealing with, let's say if we are to talk about a non-regular curvilinear shape, in that case, making construction drawings of the irregular shapes will not be aided in the regular BIM or software. In those cases, you'll have to bank on custom coding. Of course, there are consultants who take care of that, but also it's advisable to develop some of the skills in-house so that you don't incur those costs in your studio management. And one last aspect, which is project management. We have to sort of take the whole AEC industry into cognizance when discussing this. In the project management category, a software as simple as Microsoft Project can be used to crash projects, to allocate resources, and to figure out the least amount of time a project might take while investing the least amount of resources. And last bit is often overlooked by small studios and during their operation. But I suppose a lot of time and energy and conflict can be saved if you engage with the project management tool in some capacity or the other.
Okay, so that leads to the next question. Which businesses can actually benefit from the modernization that we are talking about? Will it be of help to designers in the long run?
It will be helpful to designers in the long run for sure. I'll break it down into different categories. Like I began with small and medium-sized design studios in the earlier ranks, and I'll do the same here. First of all, the studios can use it as a differentiator, wherein you pitch to the client that you're using cutting-edge technology and you're using data-driven decisions, and your team is equipped to sort of exploit the latest technology and the software available in the market to give the client the best possible design solution that they probably deserve or want. If we have to extend the scope of architecture just a bit, if you have to go a level above, which is urban design and then further beyond planning and city planning, in that stage, in the urban design stage, a lot of the decisions need to be taken based on data and not ad hoc, which is unfortunately or fortunately the case in architecture. So for example, let's say you're designing a master plan, and through some calculations you've figured out a grid. Now you need to decide what kind of land use you're going to assign to the various plots. There are tools and methods to sort of calculate which of the roads within the road network would have the highest accessibility. Now, depending on that, probably you're going to line up commercial streets along the roads which have the highest accessibility. And this is just one example amongst others. In existing cases wherein you may need to propose new methods of running a city or an area, there are tools to calculate the visibility index or the lighting index based on which you can deal with safety and female safety and other issues, and then you can intervene in those areas in patches which have lower indices of those requisite values. As far as MNCs are concerned or large corporates are concerned, a lot of the processes which we deal with are kind of repetitive in nature. For example, if you have a staircase drawing, and the logic of making that drawing for the staircase is the same, only the specification and the size may vary. Similarly, let's say for a toilet layout or the set out drawing for buildings on site, these so processes which have the same logic and can be applied across projects of various scales and typically need a lot of man hour invested, need to be converted into custom codes, which then they can employ in-house and then save a lot of time in terms of assigning work to a person or a draftsman or an architect. And that way, the profit margins may go up. And as the profit margin goes up, you can then cater to more projects as the time shrinks, and that way their design delivery will reach more number of people, which is one of the challenges, one of the horizontal challenges